Imagine, all the thousands of miles of coast on the West Coast, this was the one little spot where African Americans could come and get into the water.
For Duane Yellowfeather Shepard, the story of Bruce's Beach isn't just family history, but the story of a century of shame for America. The resort, owned and operated by Willa and Charles Bruce, was a rarity at a time of racial segregation. The campaign of harassment and violence to drive them out was not, nor too the seizure of their land. Ever since, Bruce's Beach has stood as a landmark to property taken from people of colour. How significant then this moment, the governor of California signing legislation paving the way for it to be returned to the family. Still, though, emotions are mixed.
Well, first of all, it's one of anger of what happened to my people at that time. They were traumatized by terrorists who just didn't want them to be at peace, only for the color of their skin. But then again, now I'm very elated. People stepped up. They saw the wrong that was done. It went across genders, it went across race, it went across class, and everybody overwhelmingly supported our people because this was just an injustice that should not have been done in the name of the law.
We're at a point where it's like enough is enough. Enough is enough. We're not going to be docile.
It was Kavon Ward who led the campaign over Bruce's Beach. She's now fighting for dozens of other families, seeking reparations for land taken across America. How many more there are is anyone's guess.
The scale is massive. I mean, think about it. We have 100 claims so far. So if you have legal unjust practices in the past in nearly every state, then I would have you really think about, anybody think about, what do you think that number would be, right? They left because they were threatened. Their lives were threatened. Their children's lives were threatened. And this country has done nothing about that. It's time now.
So is America at last confronting this chapter of its history?
You can't have significant moves to change unless there is a systemic thing that goes on. This particular event is something that makes me have optimism, but progress, it's a series of things that happen. Maybe it'll make people be better people, but it's all something that we'll have to wait and see. We won't be able to tell that overnight.
Bruce's Beach sits in one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in America, where the average house price runs into the millions. Wealth denied the Bruce family for 100 years, and even now there are legal attempts to prevent it being returned to the family.
That's the story of America, isn't it? That no matter what, it's these ex-slaves are not entitled to anything. We've taken it. We've won it. We conquered the people that were here. We murdered them. We stole their land. We brought people here and enslaved them. And these are our ex-slaves, and they don't deserve anything. And that's their attitude.
Greg Milam, Sky News, Manhattan Beach in California.